I'm Julie Nelson. Welcome to KARE 11 Extras. These are the stories that take a little extra time to tell, to research, to find. They are meant to inspire, inform, and ignite curiosity. And in this episode, 4 Minnesota businesses affected by tariffs in 4 very different ways. Plus, a towering tradition, why dozens of non-working water towers are still up in Minnesota. But we begin in the land of 10,000 stories. Teachers and teachers' helpers give of their time in countless ways, but not typically in the way Boyd Huppert recently found, involving a lesson straight out of a book bag.
Traffic jams in Lake City, Minnesota.
Morning, ladies.
Are not common.
Awesome.
Unless you're Jerry Priggy
I'll see you in a little bit.
at Bluffview Elementary
See ya. Have a great day.
every
Oh, in about 10 minutes I'll be there.
day.
Look at my bag.
Love it.
Yeah, every day.
Every day, all day.
How are you?
The Kid Highway
Oh, Lou, I missed you so much.
slows
I missed you. I missed you all.
for
Did you have a great-
paraprofessional
Huh?
hugs.
Are you hungry?
1, 2,
Hello, I love her.
or in groups. This is one way
I was in your neighborhood.
Jerry Priggy shows her love.
I missed you all on your break.
But look around
Miss Peggy made this on me.
and you'll see
Folks.
another.
Good morning, second grade friends. Okay, I got some done this week, you guys. Alex? You're the Packers fan. I am the bag lady. I got it done. That's a compliment.
The bag lady
Oh, look at it's going to match your shirt.
with a backstory.
So Sutton's in a wheelchair, and she was having trouble navigating the wheelchair along with carrying all of her utensils and iPads and stuff.
Whitney Hudgens is mom to Sutton.
Zebras.
And this is the first bag Miss Priggy made.
Sutton had one, and then her little best friend wanted one.
She got hers first and then I got mine second. You're all right.
And once Andy and Sutton had their book bags, it was game on.
She loves making bags for everyone because she really wants to show kindness around the school.
Allison and Copeland both want pink bags.
And I want red and orange.
Orders come in daily.
Red and orange. You got it, buddy.
Then Miss Priggy starts her homework.
Hour and a half to do one bag. It is a lot of hours.
Especially when you consider
My orders.
this.
375 bags.
Just this school year.
Yeah, done.
Which brings us to what Jerry Priggy was doing last year.
All this was deli.
The deli Jerry and her husband shut down last summer
Come over here.
to
You're
retire.
going to love this part.
That was their freezer.
This has now become Fabric Central.
That tray,
This is actually a hot dish container.
while the rest of these deli tablecloths and curtains are now book bags.
Good morning. I missed
I
you.
forgot my bag.
Oh, for heaven's sake.
You might say Miss
more
Priggy
without it.
decided retirement wasn't for her.
It's the most important job I've ever had. Yeah, it just feels really good.
She hugs them. And they hug her back.
It's like she's always with us.
Hugs hung snugly right around their necks. Boyd Huppert, KARE 11 News,
Open up.
Lake City.
What page is it on?
You can watch full half-hour specials from Boyd's Land of 10,000 Stories on the KARE 11 Plus app for your TV. Just look under the News tab at the top. You can also watch every story from the beginning in 2004 by searching for the Land of 10,000 Stories, the complete collection, on YouTube. Still ahead, for the love of water towers, why so many are still standing tall even after they're no longer working. Minnesota is home to some unique water towers, from Rochester's Ear of Corn to Lindstrom's Coffee Pot. They are part form, part function. until they aren't. At least 50 water towers in our state are now decommissioned, not working, but still up. And Audrey Russo explains why this standing tradition likely won't topple anytime soon.
Every day at noon and 6,
Predictable as a pattern. The heart of Osseo
it rattles everything.
sits high above its people.
Not everybody's got one in their backyard.
It also rests on the city seal
It's an easy landmark.
and on every lamppost.
Tell people, hey, I live by the Pony Water Tower, and they go, oh, okay, they know right where it's at.
Went into service in 1915.
At 88 years old, it stopped pumping.
It hasn't held water for some time.
But discussions to tear it down 10 years ago
It can be expensive to keep up.
were met with the pulse of hometown pride.
Nobody wanted to see it go.
Osseo residents got the water tower listed on the National Register of Historic Places.
So cool to see communities say this is worth it to us.
A rhythm of revival
Water tower nerd would be
Stu Thornley
a good description.
can follow closely.
Oh yeah.
He's an educator with the State Health Department's drinking water program.
Started here in the 90s. I've climbed a few water towers. I believe there are 969 active water towers,
He says the desire to keep the old ones standing
and there's at least 50
runs
that are like this.
in Minnesota's veins.
And then it takes somebody to say, let's not tear it down. Let's see what we can do. Love the view and just love the adventure. And then you realize you can't think about a city without thinking about the water tower.
Minneapolis also didn't have the heart to demolish a tower, unable to keep pace with modern times.
Goes back well into the 19th century.
Stu says upkeep can cost a city tens of thousands of dollars, usually in grants.
You've got to inspect it. And then once you have it, what does it keep standing? So there's a financial investment, there's a commitment to it.
Not every retired tower is destined to become a landmark. But the threat of absence
Not necessarily thinking about it until there's a reason to think about it.
can make a community grow fonder.
We'll get out at Marshall Avenue.
It was built in 1940.
Shakopee is circulating cash now
It serves the purpose for everybody.
to keep a tower you'd think would be on its last legs
We're not going to decommission it.
from flatlining.
In 1946, Popular Mechanics, they featured it in an article. Within the next 3 years, this will get reconditioned again, inside and out. We're going to keep it in service as long as we can.
This is the one that we take pride of, right?
Holding on to a beaten history.
One of those marvels of engineering.
It's a thought that's constantly ticking for Stu,
Yep.
who's 1 year out from retirement himself.
My climbing days are over. They hold memories. They don't hold water, they hold memories.
Daily rhythms we hardly notice,
And we don't want that to go. I love tradition.
ending up at the heart
It's pride for cities,
of who we are.
saying, no, you know what? That tower means something to me.
That was reporter Audrey Russo. She tells us not every decommissioned tower gets landmark status. Sometimes they remain standing because they're just too costly to demolish. Thornley says engineers frequently tell cities to budget $40,000 for removal. Communities can get creative, repurposing them into backup tanks for their newer counterparts.
4 Minnesota businesses affected by tariffs in 4 very different ways.
We were not able to even get our product until we paid the $1,700.
We've actually lowered prices on some of our best-selling products here.
Next.
Follow the tariffs. That's what we're doing with a handful of Minnesota businesses over the next several months. From textiles to toys, imports to exports, President Trump's sweeping tariffs have left everyone with a tale to tell. Here's Chris Harapsky with our first installment, Setting the Scene.
We're checking in with 4 different Minnesota businesses to find out how each one has felt the impact of tariffs.
We are Curio Rugs.
Based in Wayzata, Amanda Burney founded the vintage imported rug business during the pandemic.
So I sourced 30-some rugs, put them on the internet, and they were like gone. So then from there, I grew from just being like a little kind of Instagram shop to just being a full-blown e-commerce shop.
Here's the issue. Every single hand-sewn wool rug is imported.
Every single one, yes.
From Afghanistan, Pakistan, India, and Turkey, where rug making dates back thousands of years. Her most recent shipment cost the same as usual until it arrived at a U.S. port.
By the time it got to us, we got a little surprise bill that was for about $1,700. We were not able to even get our product until we paid the $1,700.
That was a 10% tariff, which Bernie had to pay. She says she has enough inventory for now, but she says prices will have to go up if the tariffs stick around.
Right now it's 10. I don't think that we could sustain our business at 29%.
60 miles south, an entirely different tariff tale.
We make blankets, and we've been doing that since 1865.
Ross Widmoyer is CEO of Faribault Mill, the longest-standing Minnesota manufacturer. Domestically sourced wool is turned into handmade, hand-stitched, and hand-folded blankets.
There are a lot of people over the years who've said, take the name of Faribault, buy product overseas, your margins will be much greater, the economic value will be there. And to the credit of our current ownership group, to the credit of previous ownership groups, they said no.
Those decisions have made them a shining example of a U.S. company insulated from tariffs, even getting new business opportunities from companies now looking for tariff-free sources of their textiles.
Because of the investments we've made here over the last 160 years, we've actually lowered prices on some of our best-selling products here.
From here, we head to the farm in Wells, Minnesota.
I am a fourth-generation soybean and corn farmer.
Like all farmers, Darren Johnson knows speculating is just part of the industry, even in an unprecedented trade war.
The price of soybeans has sagged down some. It's come back just a little bit.
He adjusted his planting this year, 5% more corn and 5% fewer soybeans, as the relationship with America's #1 soybean buyer, China, is uncertain. That country's tariffs, topping out at more than 147% in April, have since cooled to about 33% for now. While the nation's posture, the crops grow, and the farmers work and wait.
Short-term impact is going to be pretty negative. But, you know, as a farmer, we're trying to be patient and hoping that there is better trade deals that do come from this.
Back up to Golden Valley at Down in the Valley Record Store, where tariffs are striking a blue note.
The problem is, as a small retailer, and all small retailers, we can't just absorb these added costs, right? We're already running on thin margins the way it is, so we have to pass that on to the consumer.
60% of the products here are imported. Action figures, toys, incense, turntables, with suppliers already charging higher prices.
The entry-level turntable retailed before all of this stuff at $129. Now it's at $179.
Music, though, is typically exempt from tariffs, thanks to the Berman Amendment. Passed in 1988 by Congress, it prevents a president from regulating the import of informational and cultural arts like music, films, and publications, though the cost of making the albums may still go up.
There's a lot of manufacturing for records in the United States today, but you know, a lot of the things that make up the record, the PVC, even the printing of the record jackets are usually done maybe in Canada, Mexico.
For now, he's not sure what, when, or how much to order for the future. All four of these businesses weighing uncertainty. The golden question, for how long?
Still ahead, a Minnesota stylist to the stars and her work with a local athlete who's become a face for fashion.
I love what I do, and I do what I love. So that's how I got here.
As the popularity of the WNBA rises, so does the pregame pizzazz. The tunnel walk from the locker room to the court has turned into a fashion show where Minnesota Lynx star forward Napheesa Collier is shining even off the court. But so is a helper behind the scenes. Our Julia Daniels recently sat down with a Minnesota celebrity stylist who's also getting into the game.
In the WNBA, the tunnel has become a runway. And Lynx captain Napheesa Collier has a little help before she hits the spotlight.
She's beautiful outside, but she's also beautiful inside. And she has edge. Let me tell you, that girl, you see her on the court? Collier hits. Okay, this is why she's MVP.
Enter Kimberly Stewart, a Minnesota-based creative director and celebrity stylist with accolades that reach far beyond the court.
I did my first runway show. I produced it at 15 years old.
From there, Stewart has dressed many recognizable names, from the Property Brothers on HGTV to Tessa Thompson in the blockbuster film Dear White People.
I love what I do, and I do what I love. So that's how I got here.
Her work has earned her a few Emmys, and now she's tapping into the world of sports as athletes become faces for fashion. And her first athlete is the W's MVP frontrunner, Fee. As an avid Lynx fan and season ticket holder, Stewart had many run-ins with the Lynx captain.
She would always ask me about something I was wearing.
But it wasn't until last year that the two finally decided to team up.
We were at a captain's dinner, and she goes, "You're always in this stuff. Like, where'd you get that jacket? And oh my gosh, your dress." And I was just like, "Fee, like, what are we doing?" I'm like, "Girl, what are you wearing this season?" She's like, "I have no clue." And I was like, "Girl, call me."
The rest is history.
We've been doing iconic moments since.
How would you characterize Fee's style?
Fee is very classic. Just know that I push her.
I know, she's such a sweet, humble, innocent soul. You're
when
like,
she
get out of the
sees
box a little
this,
bit. Yeah.
she's gonna crack up laughing because she's gonna be like, "Kimberly."
Dressing a basketball player versus an actress or a TV personality, how different is it? And are there challenges that come with that, or would you categorize it even as challenges?
It's different in the fact that, you know, she's 6'1". She's got a 37-inch inseam. They don't sell that in the stores. My career was made, and I kind of cut my teeth as a baby stylist, especially coming into wardrobe, on being able to dress people who were not the norm. When celebrities would come here, they always called me because I was the black stylist. You know, I was the one that they knew could handle it. I made relationships with amazing designers, like what's on showcase here. I made relationships with boutique owners, and they sustained me in a way that was amazing.
One of those designers, Moiko Barnabas, a Tanzanian designer who created several of Collier's looks, including her iconic Time 100 gala dress she wore in April.
If you notice Nafisa, she likes her physique to show because she's very fit. And even if anybody with that body will love that.
Fee sent Barnabas an idea with black sheer fabric. He woke up at 9 a.m. and put together the dress by 11 a.m., but in silver.
So by 11 she comes and she sees this and she's like, "I think this is the dress." And by the way, she saw this fabric before and she put it on her. She didn't like the fabric, but when it was on a dress, she loved it.
Turns out, Collier likes to make a statement more places than the basketball court. And Stewart is there to guide her every step of the way.
That's what I call magic, yeah.
Remember, you can continue to catch up on the KARE 11 Extras on the KARE 11 Plus app for your TV. Go to the news menu at the top, then scroll down to Extras. Thanks for watching.